And we're back. Well,
that's the podcast, bitches.
Yeah.
We're a podcast now. So before that, that stupid game was distracting us. What were we talking about?
I don't know, vampire shit. What do we want to talk about now?
Are we gonna continue about vampire shit? I mean, that's kind of that's what we were doing. Vampire shit.
I was explicitly informed I was brought for vampire shit.
Yeah. I told you today, camper, we're gonna play Vampyr, and you love vampires. And I invited Cash and said, "Hey, Cash,
I'm here to bully
me, so you can come too."
Yeah. Unfortunately, some stuff didn't pan out, as you can see.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're here now.
We are a powered by the Apocalypse gaming group. And Powered by the Apocalypse is based in improv and, just doing things as they come, which is, we're basically experts in that.
Sure.
You don't say that. That's a lie.
We are experts in it. Like, no, I mean, like, when things go wrong, we always figure out a way to deal with it somehow.
Yeah. That's called being chaotic.
Like when we had session 12, which we lost audio for and stuff, but it's like, we figured a way around it.
Yeah, an audio drama.
Yeah, an audio drama.
That sounds like something fun to do. You know what? We should do that one day. Just make an audio drama as a group.
We do that every day, every Sunday, Cash.
That's called role playing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a planned one. Lines.
Yeah, but then we have to come up with a script, and I mean, well...
Madhouse has to come up with a script.
We can work as a group. Don't say just you.
Madhouse has to come up with the script.
Yeah, Madhouse will come up with the script.
Look, I'm trying to make it seem like we're a group.
Oh no, we are a group. But like most college group projects, I'm doing all
person doing it.
Hey, man, wouldn't be. I handle the tech side of things. That's what I do.
I'm just here to be
clearly because I tried to do it and we crashed the game like 4 times.
Yeah, I'm just here to be a force of nature.
You're a force of nature in the same way that allergies are a force of nature, Cash.
You can't get rid of them.
And they keep coming back. I guess I can stop sitting in darkness now that I'm no longer a vampire.
Were you sitting in darkness specifically?
So when we started, the sun was still like setting, so it was still like bright outside.
Okay.
And then it started thunderstorming, and then once the thunderstorm started, it was just darkness because it was nighttime now.
Oh shit! I hate it when
I hadn't gotten around to turning on my lamp, which is I can turn it with my phone, which sits right beside me. I just never got around to it.
All right, quick question. I've been wanting to ask you for a while. When you turn off, what shade of dark are you? Like when you turn off the light, you just disappear, or what?
Yeah, I'm in that category of black people where
okay.
In the darkness I disappear. I'm not a light skin. I'm a night skin. Have you guys seen that going around lately?
No.
But I know on social media, so I don't know shit.
Yeah. So basically, people were like a bunch of black voice actors were announced for like Crunchyroll stuff, I think. And like congratulations to them because it's like really hard to get like new voice actors into work, especially like actors like voice actors of color and stuff. So that's like actually like really cool and shit. But like a bunch of like racist anime fans are like, oh, blah, this is wrong. Our anime characters shouldn't be voiced by people who look like this. I'm racist.
Fuck that, man.
They called like a bunch of them started calling like black people night skins. And so like like black people on TikTok and Twitter like that's actually cool as shit. We're night skins.
It is.
And so like there's been like people like doing like songs and like night skin cosplay and like art of like and like people have like been doing like D&D races called night skins.
I was gonna say that it's kind of like just the drow.
Yeah, it's like and night skin is it's honestly a really dope term.
Yeah, I love that racism brought something cool out of it.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about being black is that we are, I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, the only like race that will reclaim their own slurs.
Hello. Okay, so what's this, man? I think someone just disappeared. It just went quiet.
Or was it me?
I don't know.
I was hearing everything fine.
Yeah,
So it was just me. Okay, it just glitched.
Yeah, I just like that. That's like a thing that's like specific to Black people, and that's one of the most enjoyable parts. One of the most and few enjoyable parts about Blackness in America.
Yeah, we get very little that we can enjoy.
You know, you brought up this topic and then D&D, and I was immediately reminded of something.
Yeah, what's up?
There was a Curse of Strahd game for like I think it might have been 2nd edition D&D, but it was kind of like a first person, more like dungeon navigation kind of game.
Yeah.
But in it, you encounter like brigands and bandits and stuff like that, and at one point you encounter people called Darklings. Which in D&D, Darklings are meant to be like a dark fae kind of thing. But in this, they were just bandits with darker skin.
What?
so,
what? You kidding me?
You gotta love racism. It can go everywhere.
It can go everywhere. You can't escape it.
So yeah.
I love that they fixed it. I love that they fixed it in later editions so they won't be racist. But God.
Well, even in earlier editions, Darklings were meant to be like they were like an unseelie fae that absorb sunlight, and then when they die, they explode and release all that sunlight in like a, like a spirit bomb, but well, not quite. However Vegeta died.
Oh, so you're saying it was just for that one edition that it was racist?
Well, no, it wasn't even the edition. It was just that one game, like that one video game based on the Curse of Strahd. And it was like, oh yeah, there are bandits, there are brigands, and then the dark-skinned ones are Darklings.
What the fuck?
Like things like that's one of the reasons I just like really don't like classical fantasy is just because it's like when I was forced to read Lord of the Rings in college, which by forced reading means my professor said we're going to be reading this book for class, and I was like, sure we are. And then I went like on YouTube and just like listened to a bunch of summaries of it.
Yeah.
Because that book is too fucking long, and we also had to read what's the other one called?
The Hobbit.
Yeah, that one. We also had to read that. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
I didn't read any of the books I was told to read.
I remember like the one thing I like really read in it was I was just like, and of course this happens to my black ass. Like I flipped to like a random page in the book. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start here and just see if it's interesting, and then if it's interesting, it'll employ me to like kind of read the whole book and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I flipped through like a bunch of like random pages, and one of them is like it's like talking like yes, the races of whatever Mid Earth or whatever the fuck it is.
Middle Earth.
Sure, whatever bullshit. And it's like the pristine white elves and men. And the dark, dirty orcs, and the dark, nasty, black-skinned goblins. Like, what the fuck?
Well, okay, hold on. Now, to be fair, there are men that are dark-skinned. They just happen to be on the evil side.
Yeah, it's strange how that happens, huh?
The Haradrim.
Yeah.
I want to beat your British ass, you fucking ass. Like,
they ride elephants into battle.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's racist. That's just racist.
Yeah, it was like they were like Indian coded and they're riding elephants in a battle and shit. I'm like, I'm fucking kidding.
Yeah.
And so I had to write like a paper on like the books that we read, and a lot of them were like classical fantasy. So we read like Alice in Wonderland. We read the Oxford fantasy. So Alice in Wonderland, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Narnia. We read like 3 of the Narnia books. Like the first 3, it was crazy. Golden Compass, which was the most enjoyable because it was the most modern.
Yeah.
And also because the guy who wrote it wasn't really like was sometimes debatable if he was an Oxford fantasist or not, whatever. But like I ended up writing mine about because I was like, I don't like these fucking books and I can't think of a way to jerk off Tolkien to please my professor. And so I did the one thing that I did right because I'm a sociologist major taking an English class. I'm like, I'm gonna write about race. That's the thing I'm good at right here.
Yep.
And so I wrote about so this is taking Oxford planets from a sociological perspective and explaining why Tolkien's a racist asshole.
Yeah.
That's my paper.
That makes sense.
I got an A. Write what you know, kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't read none of the books I was told to read, and I still passed.
Yeah.
The second time.
Listen, I graduated with a 2.5, but we all got the same degree, bitch.
It's almost a criticism of the schooling system.
Yeah. Listen, Camper, there's a lot of things to criticize here in America.
Oh, I agree.
That's
everything, basically.
Every counterways.
Where do we want to start? In 1816 or go further back?
We could go further.
We can start in the late 1700s pretty easily.
Remember, you guys. So we talked about the greatest ally to all Nightskins everywhere, John Brown.
Oh yeah, John Brown.
Yeah, glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
His truth is marching on.
There's no one I like more than Mr. John Stable Brown.
John motherfucking Brown. Like,
but John Brown knew it was up.
John Brown is the coolest fucking dude in the world. He's so dope.
John Reasonable Calm Brown.
Yeah, reasonable calm. Start a slave rebellion Brown.
I did not pay attention in school, so I do not know who he is.
Oh, they wouldn't teach you about John Brown at school.
We discovered John Brown going down a rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
John never wielded a machete. Brown.
John, completely innocent of murdering any white people, Brown. So, Cash. So John Brown was a white Christian man who grew up in was it fucking like Ohio or something?
Something.
I have no idea.
Or like he's from the olden days of America, before all the states were there, and his grandfather was one of the pilgrims that landed on Plymouth Rock.
He had
and John
a
Brown
lot of roots.
Yeah, he's like really like he is like when we talk about like an American, like the not like Native American, but like American cultural American, that's John Brown. Like, and then was born here, raised here in like the Midwest of, well, at the time the West of America.
Yeah,
and like during the slave times and all that shit, and he was raised around a bunch of Native Americans at the time with his father and all of his siblings and whatnot. Very devout Christian man. And his father was an abolitionist and taught his teachings to his son and whatnot. So it's like, he's like, oh yeah, you don't need to own people, blah, blah. The coolest thing about John Brown's version of abolitionism is a lot of things that people will say, like, oh, not all people in history are racist. Like, yes, not all of them are. Some people are actually good people, and it doesn't like excuse like it was a different time arguments. Most abolitionists of the time were like against slavery, not because they didn't want like blacks to be owned, but because they felt like black slaves were taking jobs from hardworking white men at the time.
So basically, America now with Hispanics.
Yeah, it's essentially that's what like abolitionists were back then, except for like a handful. And one of those handful of white people who were like that were John Brown, who was like, no, you shouldn't do slavery because this is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, so common sense is what he had. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
And so he's a fucking batshit insane dude, and this man is like haunting to look at. Like, he's actually terrifying of a character to witness.
Like, he was ahead of his time and ahead of probably, good therapy.
Yeah.
Who needs therapy when you have justice? But yeah, so he, like,
Quote,
actively like went to speeches from Sojourner. Wait, was it Harriet Tubman? Did he know?
Yeah, he had conversations with Harriet Tubman. I believe.
Yeah, he had conversations with Harriet Tubman and like other like big name like Black history figures of the time. Like, this dude is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Did he explicitly help the Underground Railroad? As well?
Yeah, and him and his family like helped in the Underground Railroad, like getting people to safety. Like, he worked with Native Americans and whatnot. Like, and so he eventually like moved to New York and whatnot. And like a bunch of people was like, "Hey, John, you're like a hunter and shit." And there's a bunch of Native Americans who keep like encroaching on the land that we stole from them. Can you like hunt them off? And John Brown said to them, he's like, I would rather take my gun and shoot you right now. This man did not come to play fucking games.
Yeah,
I
no.
love it.
He sounds like my idol.
Yeah,
he's great.
If I remember correctly, he also tried to incite a number of slave revolts.
Yeah, he tried to incite a number of slave revolts, and he died trying to start a slave rebellion before the Civil War, actually. And making him the first...
Just imagine if he was around during the Civil War. God.
Oh my god, yeah. It made him the first American citizen to be executed for treason, was it?
Something like that.
Because at the time the Confederacy didn't exist, so going against slavery was going against the United States.
Solid reason, though.
Solid reason. He was completely right. Yeah, so he attended lectures with Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth, which is like, it's crazy because he's just like this fucking tall ass white dude. Like from
he does look intimidating though, man. Like honestly, looking at his picture.
Yeah, he's terrifying to look at. He's so scary to look at.
I'm still a big fan of the story of him taking a machete to, like, oh fuck, what was it? Like he and it like a band of his friends, basically.
Like a group of his friends, some freed slaves, and like his sons, like a couple of his sons, went to I can't remember which rebellion was it. Harper's Ferry, which is like a federal army.
Yeah.
And like they were like, you were like, he expected to have more people and then like go on a campaign destroying like southern resources so they couldn't build up an army, and also freeing slaves to like kind of snowball into a bigger army. Like that was his like, this man was a pure idealist and fucking insane, but that shit sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's the entire thing where like for the people who actually were like, we should get rid of slavery because, you know, it's fucked up and wrong or whatever, he was at the time hailed as like a fucking icon and a hero. And apparently, from what I just looked at, some of his actions did kind of like, yeah, he was executed and stuff, but a lot of his actions led to the heightened tensions between North and South, which led to the Civil War. And also the North was like, ah yes, this guy is fucking great, let's make an entire song about him, which would later be turned into the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
The Battle Hymn, which is a fucking bop.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if they made a video game about John Brown, like, sticking purely to the facts and history, I would still say it's like Assassin's Creed, where you go around, like, meeting every major person in, like, history, and then somehow contributing to all the biggest name successes. Just, like, I wouldn't believe it for a second.
So one of the things it says is, John Brown believed he was, in his words, an instrument of God, raised up to strike the death blow to American slavery, which was his sacred obligation.
Ah, so he was the hallowed.
He was like, you know, I'm not a fan of Christianity normally, but, you know, I mean, maybe John Brown, maybe he was doing the right this time. Maybe he was doing the right thing.
Look, if it's
sometimes they make one good one.
If it's going to inspire someone to violence, let the violence be for a good cause.
Yeah. I wish his crusade would have went further. And
if you wanna know how history would remember him later on, there's apparently a movie about him in 1940 called Santa Fe Trail. It depicted Brown completely unsympathetically as an out-and-out villainous madman. Mazzy played him with a constant wild-eyed stare. The film gave the impression that he did not oppose slavery, even to the point of having a black, quote-unquote, mammy character say after an especially fierce battle, "Mr. Brown done promised us freedom, but if this is freedom, I don't want no part of it."
Oh my god, so they tried to slander him?
Yeah, they made a whole fucking movie about how John Brown was like this crazy madman who just tried to kill a bunch of people for no reason.
Man, I mean, you know what you should do, man?
A crazy madman, but
man, we should make a thing so we
just
make a real good movie.
It was starring Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, Raymond Massey,
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, Alan Hale and Ronald Reagan.
I can't believe Ronald Reagan's immortal.
It's the fun. He played George Armstrong Custer.
When did this movie go? This was
1940.
1940s.
Yeah. Remember, everyone, Ronald Reagan was an actor before he was the politician.
I didn't even care for him in the first place.
Being a politician is acting.
I know that the audience can't see this, but this is my favorite art of...
It's a classical portrait of him standing on a Confederate soldier's neck, holding a rifle in one hand and a Bible in the other, screaming to the heavens.
While like
also,
natural
like,
disasters
He's
are
also- yeah,
happening
he's also a
behind him.
titan.
Yeah. Also, like the world is ending around him. There's
Yeah,
like
there's
a
a tornado in the
firestorm.
background,
There's a
wildfire.
tornado. There's a whole. It's a whole thing.
He looks fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I support that. I
That-
love
he-
it.
John Brown is a certified girl boss.
Yeah, I feel like John Brown, if if we were at the point in the future where we were like able to bring people back from the past to the future, or like bring them back to life so they could see the future, John Brown would wear a Black Lives Matter shirt.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be like, "Oh shit, slavery's over, dope," and then he sees the prison industrial complex, like, and he picks up the gun again. Time to go to work.
My work isn't done.
I think it would be a really funny like film of like Django Unchained, where it's like, oh yeah, it's like like a southern slave western, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God, James Brown Unchained.
Yeah, like John Brown just kind of going to town.
Yeah, well, that would be amazing. I do feel like some people might be like, it's a bit white saviory.
Yeah, I mean, John Brown is a white savior, but
I mean,
like,
yeah.
I feel because Harriet Tubman and Frederick goes like, "Hey, John, this is a bad idea. Like, I like where you're going, but this isn't the best idea. Like, we can't just like force slaves to fight." And he's like, "Well, they don't have to fight. They can join if they want to." And he's like, "Yeah, but like, it's like you're putting their lives in danger. We're supposed to be freeing them, blah blah blah." And yeah, John Brown was a man who believed the best way to solve slavery was by destroying it by hand. He didn't believe in all. Like, John Brown was a man who was like, "It's on site. We ain't talking. We're here just to fight."
Yeah, because if you leave the structure in place, it can be reinstated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm not here for all that la 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 blah 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 bullshit. I'm coming. I'm punching your lights out." And I kind of respect that. I get it. I feel it, but it's like also John.
He's like, he is like the Malcolm X to the Martin Luther King of his time.
Yeah.
He's like, I get where you're coming from, and you know what? I totally respect you guys. But have you considered maybe maybe we stop the yabbering and start the macheteing?
Yeah. John Brown's like, "I got my gun, I got my machete, and I got my sons, and I'm ready to ride."
Honestly, sometimes you do need a little bit of violence to prove a point.
John Brown had like pure like gang lord energy.
John Brown's just like, I don't have enough arms to carry all these arms, so I'm gonna make some boys.
Yeah. I birthed. He's like, "I didn't birth sons. I birthed abolitionists."
My seed will be soldiers.
John Brown's great. John Brown's a fucking icon. A U.S. icon that we should talk about more in U.S. history.
But we won't.
I wish he'd become a vampire.
Oh yeah, what vampire? Oh, yeah, let's get back to vampires.
Bruja. I was
What
gonna say Bruja for John Brown.
Honestly,
yeah.
I totally get Bruja. I just immediately went to Gangrel because he looks wild.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And plus, I think there's nothing more horrifying to like a pro-slavery like plantation owner. You're walking around on your plantation, and then suddenly John Brown pops out of the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Because Gangrel do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally part of how they, because Gangrel like to live in like less like more rural areas, kind of like werewolves, but they need to hide from the sun. And so one of the powers that they build up really quickly is submerging themselves under the earth to sleep. And they can pop themselves out in the span of a few seconds.
Nice.
So John Brown as a Gangrel would just like appear out of the ground armed. And just like, well, what are you going to do now? Yeah, you can take your weapons down there.
Oh my god, yeah, I do like that. I also, I don't know why, but I was like, John Brown is Malkavian, just because I am an instrument of God, and it's my sacred obligation to end slavery. Like, this man is insane.
Yeah.
I love him.
I feel like any good character in that he's a real person, when you try to say what faction could he be put in, there are multiple options that are all equally accurate.
Yeah, I mean, Al Capone's been claimed by like 5 different clans. And
So his charges were treason against the Commonwealth of Virginia, murder, and inciting a slave insurrection.
Okay, so 2 potential crimes and a good thing. So how do they balance that out?
Yeah, I don't see. It's like, I mean, the treason, like, you guys should have been doing that anyways.
Yeah,
he's just pushing along the wheel. Like murder. Okay, I can see the charge for that. Yeah, he did kill those people.
Is it not
kill those people?
It's not treason if you're honest and true to yourself.
Yeah.
Then it's treason.
Shut up. How many children do you have?
Enough.
Oh my god!
He had a ridiculous number, didn't he? I remember this.
21!
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he had
an army. Holy shit!
He had 22 guns.
21 sons for all my guns.
Honestly, I'm surprised he was patient enough to let them grow up.
Yeah, they came out of the womb, and he's like, "Hello, my young child. This is Frederick Douglass' Sojourner Truth. This is Harriet Tubman. And here's a gun. Go in slavery."
He pulls boys out of the womb and is like, "Here's your razor. Here's your gun. When you can use one, you use the other."
Oh my god! Like, this guy's pretty crazy.
John Bruja Brown.
Oh wait, there's also the so those are actually younger pictures of him, Cat. This is an older picture with like the full beard that's like depicted in the portrait there.
Yeah, he got a good beard. I give him that.
He's got a great beard. Like he's rocking it.
Still got that crazy look in his eyes though.
Oh yeah, that's not going away.
That's following him to the grave. In fact, it's leading him to the grave.
Probably still has it in the afterlife shit.
Oh,
man, could you in our Urban Shadows game? Could you bring John Brown back?
I feel like John Brown should be part of Wild as like some sort of like ancient American quasi deity.
Oh yeah. John Brown is a new god.
Turns out he's actually John Doe.
So, you guys know like how in Neil Gaiman's American Gods, like gods spawn out of a belief in something?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
I just like that he's like a bunch of people hearing about John Brown just believe in his message more and more and more, that he just resurrects.
Man,
like Christ, like resurrection, John Brown. He's like, I am a god.
Man, well, it'd be more hilarious if he just believed in himself so much and his ideas that he just brought himself back from his own belief.
I believe in myself so hard I became a god.
It's like, we'll destroy all your believers. It's like, good luck.
But yeah, I feel like John Brown in Urban Shadows would be either Wild or Power.
Yeah. He would be mortality, but just some fucking ape shit, like tanked out mortality. It's like why is he going? We can't stop him.
If I ever have to go against him, like if there's a clock with him in it, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not even going to get near it.
Yeah, that's none of my business anymore.
They already said he was a hunter.
Yeah.
We have an
instrument of God, camper. There's nothing we can do at this point. Like, the second I'm, like, in the streets and somebody comes racing at me and I know they want to fight me and they say, I'm an instrument of God, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. Because they have such strong... I'm not winning that fucking fight, yo. Like...
Yeah, crazy does add some kind of multiplier to people's, strength.
Usually when people hear, I'm an instrument of God, it's before they get, like, fucking hate crimed or, like... killed in a terrorist action. Like it's not a winning fight to be in.
Yeah, there is a smiting that's about to occur, and you don't want to be on the other side of it.
There's a smiting, and either this person is a fucking crazy radical or a paladin, and I'm not about to be part of any of it.
They're wrong, or they're crazy, or they're right, and you don't want to be on the other side.
Yeah, because either it's like some weird supernatural shit fucks you up, or they're just a crazy person, and that crazy person's probably gonna beat my ass because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, and they won't go down. They literally won't go
down. Like, there's nothing.
They go down when you kill them.
Like we say, like, oh yeah, a fucking person who believes themselves so hard that they become God. That's just crazy people.
Yeah.
Like, fighting a crazy person, they believe in themselves so much that they won't lose, and they're not going to.
Yeah.
The only way you beat them is they're dead. That's the only way.
You gotta outlive. Yeah.
That's what
John Brown, the god, the Bruja, the legend.
That's why people don't fuck with Malkavians. Like, anytime you do, you get fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, because, like, you know, obviously the instant assumption is that, oh, Malkavians are crazy, but why do you think they're still around?
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure, a lot of them are probably unstable, but then when one starts saying shit about that thing you did last week that you know for a fact no one saw...
No one witnessed, nobody was there. How do you know?
You have to start considering, like, okay, well, yes, they're insane, and that makes them dangerous, but this is terrifying, and now I need to leave town.
So... You want to hear of a fucked up thing I used to do in college?
What?
I was diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was in college, and upon like going through like the process and whatnot of psychiatry, I found out that I actually had early onset schizophrenia. I'd been living with it since I was like early childhood.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing to look back on and think back every day and be like, oh, that's what that was. But so when I was in college, somehow by the grace of nature and luck of the draw, one of the people in my friend group, also in their 20s, develops their schizophrenia developed. Their psychosis developed, and so we were just two people on this small college campus of like 1,500 people with schizophrenia.
Two crazy peas in a pod.
Yeah, two crazy people. And so one of the things is like whenever I was like, oh, this person's like annoying me, I'm like, we should act crazy to get them to go away. Because I knew that nobody else would have any knowledge of what like psychosis looks like in a day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I would just like ramble like randomly or something, or just like pitch my voice like rapidly, just get them to fuck off. Which was great. It was kind of funny, and I would just do it just to mess with people, just to see if they would actually believe it, and they usually did.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
Yes. The great thing about having disorders, you can use it. You can use it in real life to make people leave you alone.
I'm already suffering. I might as well use it to my benefit, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you don't want to be the dumbass that doesn't believe it and then get stabbed.
Oh
right?
yeah. But I think one of the funny things, I think that's why I like Malkavians so much, because as a person who lives with psychosis actively, it's like, it's always fun for me to see like a character who experiences like hallucinations or like an altered version of like just perception, and like is still like just going through the day and actually like doing well with it.
Yeah.
It's just relieving. And so it's like, oh yeah, look, that's like a cool thing for me. It's like, oh, like there's Malkavians out there that are like, yeah, they're vampires, but they're like they're running shit, but they're like, you know, they're just like me.
Wow, those vampires are just like me.
They're just like me. I could do that too. So it's just like really fun.
Yeah.
I do appreciate Malkavians from the perspective of like, you can have them like play that side up in whatever way you see fit. Like a Malkavian could just be like severely anxious, and that is, you know, I mean, it has to have a pretty deep impact, but that's still like, that is just what they are contending with. You have the ones that like hallucinate, or you have the ones that have like DID to some degree. It's like, you can experience or portray, I guess would be more accurate, a whole line of different like,
Yeah.
It's just it's such a good archetype. It's a shame that they're kind of viewed the way they are.
The fish malk thing.
Yeah. It's like it's a shame that they're kind of portrayed that way, and like Bloodlines didn't really do it any favors in that regard. By
it's like the Malkavians are crazy.
They're crazy.
Like they got all the wacky text, and then and it's cool if you play it through a second time, or if it's your second or third playthrough, and you're playing a Malkavian, then it's like, oh shit, actually, like this text.
It's like
conversation,
foreshadowing, or like a
Yeah, this offhand text comment that in the first thing was like, yeah, sure, I can get that job done. The Malkavian's like, ah, yes, the daughter of Janus. It's like, okay, well that's just crazy talk.
To God, yeah.
But then you play it through the second time, it's like, oh, that's what the Malkavian's saying.
Yeah, it's really good shit. I think it's just so cool to see mental neurodivergency in some kind of fantasy medium that is done well. I remember saw one where it's they played a Malkavian, an actual play. They were playing Malkavian, and their thing was when they drank from somebody, they always had a chance of thinking that they were that person and would sometimes try to live their life.
Yeah. Okay.
Or live what they thought, they would drink from a person. So if that person was a doctor and they drank from them, they would try to clock into a hospital and do doctor stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just how their curse worked. I thought this is cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a real shame if they drank from a professional sunbather.
Oh no! I'm a lifeguard.
Tommy the Malkavian was never heard from again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampires are cool.
Yeah.
Just too many downsides of weaknesses.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're a bitch.
Are vampires
Look,
in 5th edition weak to silver?
No. Werewolves are, I believe. Vampires have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Vampires are silver.
Classic, classic vampire shit. I'm too much. A silver. Okay, I can probably get past that. Garlic, no.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up garlic. I'm not doing it.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna die eating pizza.
Yeah.
If you tell me any day of my life I can have this overwhelming power, but I have to lose a seasoning, no.
Yeah.
No. My ancestors did not fight that fucking hard for this shit. No.
Yeah.
We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Silver, the thing with silver is it's meant to be from a mystical perspective, it's meant to be a holy purifying metal, which is why it is good against, demonic creatures from the abyss or whatever. And that's also why vampires don't show up in mirrors, because traditionally mirrors back in the day were backed with silver, so they didn't reflect the impure visage of a vampire.
You know what I want?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
I'll tell you. I want more monsters that are weak to just basic ass metal. I want a monster that appears and it's now I'm going to eat you, and someone's like, no, you're not, and they just stab him with a knife made of nickel or zinc or something.
Yeah.
just uneventful bullshit metal.
Oh no! The one thing I'm weak to, barium.
I want somebody to be weak to aluminum. That'd be hilarious.
That's a good one.
I fully believe in the Middle Ages or something, someone made a story. It's yes, there's this horrible monster, and it's weak to steel. It's are you sure about this?
Literally everywhere, dude. Literally everywhere.
Literally everyone has steel.
Farmers have that shit.
It's not rare.
That's kind of the debate with cold iron, right?
Yeah, it's cold iron.
Isn't the thing they say it's weak to cold iron, but they never actually say what cold iron is.
Yeah, some people say it's cold wrought iron, so it's iron that's shaped at a specific temperature. It's no, all that means is iron. It's just referring to iron. It's just referring to iron that is currently cold. And not even refrigerated cold, just just not hot.
And my evil mastermind monster is vulnerable to ice cubes.
Ooh.
Well, to be fair, many, like, the Middle Ages, that would actually be pretty hard to come across.
Oh yeah, that would fuck them over.
And that reminds me a lot of there's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, where, like, there's this ancient evil, it's like, no weapon of man can slay him. And then, like, he shows up, and they've been trying to come up with all these solutions. Like, they shoot him with a crossbow, he's immune. Come up with a sword, he's immune. Then Buffy the Vampire Slayer pulls out a fucking RPG. It's like, you didn't have this in your time. And she shoots him, and he fucking dies.
I love that.
Because the prophecy and everything like that was made when the greatest weapons of man were crossbows and swords.
Man.
Oh my god.
Get shot by a Glock and you just did.
Yeah,
I love the idea. It's like, I'm an ancient evil, and I'm here to destroy you. Okay, well, I'm just gonna fucking throw a modern weapon at you, dumbass. Like, fuck off.
I mean,
that
that
was
was
kind of a grew up in Vampire the Masquerade too, where it's like in the early ages, vampires ruled openly and just like that they were in charge of regions and people knew they were vampires, but they couldn't do anything. Kind of like Dracula or Strahd style.
Yeah, unless you just summon the sun into a room, you're kind of fucked over.
But then, as time went on, and they started developing, crossbows and like weaponry that they could produce on a large scale, that's when vampires started fucking hiding. Because they're like, okay, well, these guys are getting crazy, and we can't actually face them because we cannot mathematically beat that many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially nowadays, when someone goes to like down the street and go get a fucking hunting rifle, fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think if a vampire started shit in like a busy like urban area or something, like, do you think like a group of humans could easily jump them?
I don't know about like they'd probably take a few out, but like after with modern equipment, it's like just a golf club would still be an inhibitants to a vampire if like enough people were swinging them. Like it's like they're pretty resistant, and especially if they have fortitude, like they may just for the most part ignore it. But like the second someone pulls out a gun, it's like, oh shit. Like, okay, like I can eat a couple bullets.
Yeah.
But this is why vampires in America don't fuck around, because they're like anyone I'm walking past could have a gun. And then in fact, actually, this is brought up in the vampire lore.
We gotta do something about this vamp shooting problem in America.
Where there's a really powerful vampire named Hardstadt the Elder. He's like the Ventru Primogen. He's like super in charge, and his fortitude is maxed out. He's basically invincible.
Yeah.
You want to know how he died?
How?
Hello.
The guy, like the Bruja Primogen, or Anarch, well, he wasn't Anarch at the time, but Theo Bell walked up to him, put a shotgun under his chin, and blew his fucking head off.
Gun violence. It ends too many lives. Gun violence is rough.
because, like, the shotgun alone would have sucked a little bit, but fortitude. However, I believe they were called flame tongue rounds. So they were he was shooting explosive fire into his head. And
you gotta love modern day science.
And so that's what vampires are dealing with in the modern era, is like humans just walking, like, Vietnam era, they had flamethrowers. Like, that's fucked up. Like
imagine the first vampire to see a flamethrower and then tell the rest to hide. Just like walking around like, oh yeah, just gonna eat this like fucking bird or whatever, and they see a guy with a flamethrower, it's like, yo, what the fuck? Oh hell no.
That's not fair.
Yo, he had a hose that shot fucking fire. No, it didn't.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if, like, nowadays they know that UV light doesn't do anything to them. But can you imagine when UV lights first were invented, and how much they must have panicked? It's like, oh my god, can they set up a sun inside?
They can shoot sunlight at us?
So one of my favorite vampire movies is 30 Days of Night.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cop-out, because it's like, oh, scary vampire movie instead of like, kind of like a drama thriller, like, Dracula, the interview with the vampire, blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
But like 30 Days of Night is such a good, like, feral vampire movie. just because it really just shows how fucking helpless people are against these creatures.
Yeah.
Like they've just been they waited for that time in Alaska where there's no sun for a month, and they've just been going from town to town ransacking shit. Just leaving that shit abandoned and just moving on. And it's
they didn't have guns up there.
They did have guns. It didn't fucking matter much. Because,
yeah, like they shot the vampires, and the vampires would be like, "Ow,
ow," and then 2 more whip your ass. Like the way that they hunted was so interesting because it was like they would come into the town, hide under the houses and stuff, and just wait.
Oh, they some rat bastards. Way that's how.
Yeah, like they were like actual like fucking like hunting, and it was so interesting because it was like they would hide under the houses, they would wait for the people to like all like retire to their homes. Because it's a small town, no one's gonna stay up at 3 a.m. Everyone's retiring to their homes and whatnot. Everyone gets isolated. They start fucking just going to town. The second people start running in the streets screaming, they just take them out, and then it's just a bloodbath in the streets. Then when they start like running out of people, they're like, we know that there's still people here hiding somewhere. We can't find them. So what they do is they find someone who's still alive, and they use them as bait, and they say, go out there and call and cry for help. And if you don't find anyone, we're gonna fucking kill you. And there's a scene where there's like a girl like walking around like crying, it's like, help me, is anybody out there? Somebody please help me, blah blah blah. And everyone's like, oh, we should go help her. No, she's bait. It's wild.
Man, this is just telling me to say fuck humans when this shit happens.
Yeah.
Hiding under floorboards and stuff as hunting. And my immediate visual image was, can you imagine, like, you walk into your house one day and there's a fucking mailbox just, like, sitting by the wall. You get close and you realize it's a hunting blind and there's a vampire sitting inside. Just like, but they're not super well versed in like modern society, so they're like, oh yeah, sure. Like I've seen mailboxes before, and just like they don't realize one wouldn't be inside, and so they think they're super camouflaged.
Yeah. And then there's and then the thing with 30 Days of Night, if I remember correctly, is they have like a fucking harbinger who will basically just go in and vandalize a bunch of shit to like destroy any like
they will capture
like
somebody from the previous town, and they will like put them halfway where they're like halfway turning but like infected and shit, and they will send them in as they're like going through the vampire transformation to like break shit down.
Yeah, like destroy like heating, power, like disabling at vehicles.
Outside, any vehicles, any sled dogs, like they just get rid of it.
Yeah. Basically making it so that the people in the town can't communicate with anyone else and they can't leave.
And yeah, the incentive is if this harbinger does it all right, then he then joins the pack. And it's great.
Yeah.
But usually that harbinger gets caught by people and, fucked up. So
I just realized sitting at this table that I look like I have weird wooden legs.
I mean, just like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is you guys' favorite like vampire movie or game or media?
Twilight.
Queen of the Damned.
I don't know. I don't know if I actually have a favorite vampire thing.
You said Queen of the Damned cat. That is a good one.
Yeah, that's like out of all the ones I've seen, that's the one I like the most.
Yeah, it's good. It is really good.
I think that's one of the ones I could actually go back and rewatch over and over again.
Yeah, it's. I kind of do want to go back and rewatch it. I wonder if does it still hold up today?
It's still good, but nowadays.
Yeah.
How about you, Kent? What's your favorite vampire thing?
I don't know. I was thinking while you guys were talking, hoping to come up with a good answer.
Just Till Dawn.
I don't know. Like, I like all the different vampire stuff for completely different reasons. So it's hard to nail down, like, why I would prefer one over the other.
Yeah. Like, the best thing I could think of is fucking What We Do in the Shadows, but I feel like that's kind of a cop-out, because that's kind of like a...
I feel like I think like vampires don't need to be scary.
I guess.
Like they just need to be like weird, I guess.
But I don't know, cause like it's the thing of like I said, like I don't hate vampires, but like they're not really my thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, yeah, the thing that I remember is when it's a vampire thing where the vampires are kind of a joke.
I feel like I might lean toward like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like because it's obviously it can be really cheesy sometimes, but it also really delves into like the human effect of vampirism, where it's like, oh, it turns you into a monster, but there's still this very small, very quiet part of yourself that still lingers behind, and that part can be tapped into, and like potentially like you could turn away from it, but it is a constant battle. And then you've got like this whole faction of people that's like, hey, we've got one really powerful person who slays vampires, and that's going to be their job. They're going to just murder the shit out of vampires without any consideration for like the alternatives. And then obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a little different in that she super wants to bang at least one of them, usually two.
We've all been there.
And it's just, you get a lot of insight into like what it means to live that long, what it means to like try and recover from this natural state of being a monster, which, you know, Vampire the Masquerade leans into a lot of the time as well.
Yeah.
Which I guess that might be why I'm super.
So, who's going to be the first person to play a vampire in our mask game? And why is it Camper?
I think
Well,
wasn't technically Simon a vampire?
Yes, Simon was a vampire. Yes.
Oh,
He just didn't have the weakness to sunlight.
Did he drink people's blood?
No,
Yes, he just didn't do it on screen.
A vampire in the sense that he was dead, like one.
No, man, Simon didn't drink blood on screen, but he was a vampire.
Ew. I'm killing him. I'm erasing him.
I will say, I had a really hard debate for several Aegis campaigns, namely the last one and the one upcoming. By several, I mean the two that have been profit.
But there's only been one.
But I did have a vampire set, like, ready.
Really?
Yeah, I have a... Let me find... where is he? Pala. That was his name, because Pala means, like, you know, being pale and...
Yeah.
And his whole... He was meant to be a doomed, and his doom was meant to be effectively, like, absolute Vampire the Masquerade ripoff.
Yeah.
His doom was basically the beast and trying to maintain humanity.
Yeah.
And like his nemesis would be his sire, who so he was more like, he was closer to a Vampyr, I guess, than a vampire.
Yeah.
But the threat, his doom was becoming a full vampire, and thus a full monster.
I do like that.
Yeah.
That's
the yeah. I think my I think one of my brothers had something like that as like a doomed, as like a character concept. Though his was, I think, his experience with vampires and all that stuff was more from like the Castlevania games, so it was a lot more influenced by like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think it's Aria of Sorrows. I think when you play a character named Soma, that's kind of his story arc.
Oh yeah, that's like his favorite Castlevania game. So
yeah, kind of the arc of Aria of Sorrows. Like, you start out as a regular dude, and then it turns out you have the power to absorb souls, and then as you go through, like, you get more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out the reason you can do that is because you're potentially a vessel for Dracula.
Yeah.
I like Count Chocula.
Count Chocula is my dude. Him and the Count.
Which clan does he belong to?
Oh god, what are some personality traits of Count Chocula?
Get soggy in milk.
Okay, so antithetical to liquids. All right, so
let me look at his wiki real quick.
Yeah, let's check out.
Yeah, the official Count Chocula wiki.
Yeah,
gotta find out what clan Count Chocula is part of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very important. It's very important.
This is the worst podcast that I think I'm going to be a part of.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the superhero wiki? Count Chocula.
Count Chocula is my hero.
So, Count Chocula, origin. Count Chocula is the name of an advertising character for an... Oh god, I wish I could read.
Me too.
Eponymous
I also
record-
wish you could read.
Eponymous record cereal made by General Mills. He is a vampire that ostensibly eats only the chocolate cereal he is named after. His voice and image are an homage to Bela Lugosi's portrayal of Count Dracula. Count Chocula is a benign character rather than a malicious monster. His associates include Frankenberry, Booberry, Yummy Mummy, and Fruit Brute.
Can I say they all sound gay?
Yeah, they do. I mean, those all sound. Yeah, those are all very, very queer names, and I like it.
Yeah.
Fruit Brute just sounds like a Brujah to me, but
Fruit Brute is like it's a Brujah on a pride flag cape.
Chocola's been known to take on the form of a bat. It's also
Yeah.
suggested he's immortal. I mean, he's a vampire. Immortality is kind of
It's vaguely implied, you know.
So that's all his powers, that he's immortal and can turn into a bat.
and he needs
And he
chocolate.
can't. Yeah, he don't have to drink blood. That's something.
Oh, you know what? This tells me he is a vampire with high humanity because he's mostly benign and he can eat like something other than blood.
Toreador.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he is stylish.
He's very stylish. I mean,
But
and he's a public figure. Like,
However, he also can turn into a bat, which means he has a high degree of protein.
oh my god. Oh my god.
Are we
What?
actually figuring out his fucking
Count Chocula height. 7'6".
Excuse what? Excuse me?
What?
He's
Oh,
fucking
you know
what?
He's 7'6".
He's 7'6".
He said,
He
"Fuck
must
that
be
shit."
jack as fuck.
Oh my god.
Yo.
No, what are we doing? There's no debate here whatsoever. We know what he is.
He's Kane.
Well, because he is based. he's well. First of all, his name is Count Alfred Chocula. But
Oh yeah, he's Kane's sire actually.
well, actually, he's actually a first generation vampire. You know how I know that?
How?
Because under creators George Khan. That's just Kane.
That's an anagram. We know who you are.
Yeah, George Khan. If you reverse the letters, reads out Kane from the Bible.
It does. It exactly spells out Kane from the
says-
Bible.
Yeah, if you it says Cain from the Bible. You know, the one who killed his brother or whatever.
Quote,
Yeah.
end quote.
If you rearrange some of the letters, remove some, and then add some, it spells out.
I was actually going to say.
I'm sorry. I keep going on. I looked at Booberry, and under paraphernalia, it just says it's the Boo Hooter.
The what? The what?
I don't know what the Boo Hooter is. Okay, Booberry is a ghost with the traditional abilities associated with spirits. He can be corporeal or solid, invisible or visible. He uses rattling chains to cause a visceral effect in those observing him. But what the fuck is the Boo Hooter?
Oh no, I found it.
Oh no, Camper, what is it?
It's a fucking kazoo.
Yes!
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yes! Yes!
No!
Yes!
Can you send a picture? Can I send a picture, please?
No,
If you go-
it's not a picture,
Oh
it's a
my
video.
God.
Oh my god, send that, please.
I got it, I got you.
It's. I sent the video with them actually playing it.
No way. Oh, that's not what I want. So I tried to type in the Yummy Mummy to see what I could get. I got a Netflix show,
Yeah?
and it's not the cereal guy.
Yeah, what is it?
Where's the? Oh. Okay. Yeah, he's just a mummy. He's not even very interesting or anything.
Wow.
And Fruit Brute is actually a werewolf.
This just
that
in,
makes sense.
Madhouse thinks that mummies are not interesting. News at
No,
11.
guys. I think mummies are like cool.
Yeah, sure you do. You probably haven't even seen the mummy featuring
Brendan Fraser.
I haven't.
There you go.
You probably even haven't seen the Mummy 2 or the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Or The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise.
I want the Dooku to come back.
Look, I
The
just
Dark Universe
think,
cinematic universe.
look, people should know that I am low-key obsessed with the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon
The
Emperor.
Mummy.
Not just the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
What other
There are Yetis.
serial characters?
Oh, or you know, the spin-off series based on the Mummy, the Scorpion King, which had
The Rock.
a lot of movies.
There was more than one Scorpion King movie?
Oh.
Yep, man, there was.
There were indeed more than one Scorpion King movie, Madhouse.
No fucking way there was.
Yes, there definitely.
Mad movie night, mad movie night.
We're gonna watch all the... No, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like when we watch all the Resident Evils again.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, Madhouse.
Watching those movies was a fucking nightmare. I hated every second of it. The only thing that made those movies tolerable was having to drag other people down with me while doing it.
Okay, Madhouse. The Scorpion King movies are as listed. The Scorpion King 2, Rise of a Warrior, The Scorpion King 3, Battle for Redemption, The Scorpion King 4, Quest for Power, The Scorpion King, Book of Souls, and an untitled reboot that has not come out yet.
Yet.
The 4th Scorpion King movie?
The 6th.
The 6th Scorpion King movie?
There are 5 Scorpion King movies released right now. The latest one came out in 2018.
Why?
No, what?
Mad, we had to do movie night, mad.
Who's making these?
I don't know.
Someone.
Oh
Man,
my
guy-
god. It's actually, like... What the fuck?
Mad movie night.
And I want you to know this, Madhouse. I want you to know this. In all the Scorpion King movies, the titular Scorpion King is played by a different actor in almost every single one.
Oh my god.
Rock said one and done.
Yeah, Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or as his friends know him, The Rock, or Dwayne, or the Johnson, was in the Scorpion King 1. Scorpion King 2 was played by Michael Copon, or something. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, Mr. Michael. Then, in 3 and 4, was played by Victor Webster. And then, in Book of Souls, was played by Zach McGowan.
So John the Dwayne Roxon... What? No. Dwayne the...
John the Dwayne Roxon.
My new favorite actor,
I think I just had a stroke.
Dwayne John.
What'd I say?
Dwayne the John Roxon.
Yeah, Dwayne Roxon Mobile. So he like... Fuck, I don't even... Is that gonna be a quote now? John the Dwayne Roxon.
Yeah, I'm about to put it in the door.
Yeah, so he played Scorpion King once in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were 4 more made after that, and a 5th one, and another one on the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're correct. Why'd you ask? You just want clarification.
I'm astonished that that's a thing. Like that's I yeah.
You know,
that's-
Matt, I think the people making it were also astonished it was a thing.
You think Mr. Roxon also knows that it's still a thing?
I think
No.
he doesn't want to know. Though, apparently Mr. Roxon is going to be in the Untitled reboot.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be playing Black Adam.
Black Adam played by John the Dwayne Roxon.
Oh, actually, it looks like he's. Oh, okay, no, he's not going to be acting in it, but he is going to be one of the producers.
Yes, you gotta make sure it's loyal to your original vision for the Scorpion King.
Yeah. You can't mess up the sanctity of Scorpion.
Yeah, it's written by Jonathan Herman, best known for his work in Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, okay.
This will be interesting. Oh.
From Hood to Egypt.
Oh, hello, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
Hello, Marky boy. Welcome to the Heretic Podcast.
Pretty good here.
We're doing whatever the fuck. We're talking about whatever the fuck we want. Originally, we started
off trying to play Vampyr, and that didn't work out too well because everything kept crashing.
Yeah.
And so now we're just kind of talking.
Yeah.
In a podcast, a quote-unquote podcast.
We started with vampires, and then somehow we got to John Brown, then back to vampires, and then we started talking about Count Ocula
and his related allies.
And Booberry.
Yeah, and now we're on John the Dwayne Roxon and the Scorpion King franchise.
Yeah.
Which we got to from Yummy Mummy.
Yeah, Yummy Mummy. The Yummy Mummy is almost as funny as Scoopy Banoopy to me.
Fucking Scoopy Banoopy, no.
Yeah.
Shut
Did you know, Marcus, that there are 5 Scorpion King movies and a 6th one is in the making?
Take that as a no.
Yeah, you never.
I find it funny that there are more Scorpion King movies than there are the Mummy movies.
Well, even they agree.
Well, actually, no, technically, there are 5 The Mummy movies.
And 5 Scorpion Kings with 1 on the way.
Because there is, there's the Mummy.
There's also a TV show.
There is like the Mummy. There's the Mummy Returns. There's the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. But there's also, the original. Oh wait, there's a lot of Mummy movies. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, there was also a TV show.
There's the Mummy.
The TV show was
starting
great.
in 1932. The Mummy.
Why is there so much shit that nobody gives a fuck about, really?
And then there was The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy's Ghost, The Mummy's Curse, and then Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy.
Uh-oh.
And then
It was only a matter of time.
Then there was the Hammer series, which was The Mummy.
The Hammer.
The Hammer.
The Hammer, yeah.
Drop the hammer.
So yes, so the original series, which was 32 to 55, then there was 59 to 71 of The Mummy, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, which came out in 1964, so, sorry, Pyrite, didn't get to see that one.
Damn.
The Mummy's Shroud, then Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Then...
That's not likely, given that they are embalmed, so...
Shut up.
I can't wait in 9 weeks when we all meet up in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, in Portland, Oregon, where Maya lives.
Portland, Oregon.
Where Maya lives.
Yes.
Oh,
No, Marcus, he lives in Portland, Oregon. Shut the fuck up.
no, I know she lives in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, you better know.
Yeah.
So, what kind of math do we need to do to figure out where the mummies are going?
But anyways,
Shut.
then there was the Stephen Sommers series from 1999 to 2008.
We gotta explain that.
Which was The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and the greatest movie of all time, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
We can't just not explain that.
We have to explain the deepest cut of this group.
the thing that keeps Camper up at night.
Yeah.
The thing that makes him actively want to die more every time he thinks about it.
And then there was the Dark Universe, The Mummy in 2017.
Is the
only Dark Universe movie.
The Spider-Woman cartoon from, what was it, the 70s?
Sounds about right.
The 70s?
I think it was the 70s.
60s, 70s, I think.
But it was the first episode from it. And for some reason, there were mummies coming out across and turning other people into mummies. And they were like, well, how do we figure out where the mummies are going? And some little stupid shit kid throws out some stupid ass math. And it's like, well, I gotta look up the exact. Because it's so dumb. And it was just me and Camper up at, I think it was like, nearly midnight for me.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock for you, so it would have been, what?
Like 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock for me? Yeah.
That was about right.
So we're both, just sitting here watching it post-session, and it's just like, what the fuck is this show talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta...
All I did was multiply their previous locations times the angle of their estimate course.
Okay, I got it here. So he says... They're like, we don't know where the mummies are going. Okay. So Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, is like, okay, I gotta save Spider-Man, who's been captured by mummies or whatever. And but she's Jessica Drew, so she's got to keep that secret. She's like, we gotta go do this so we can get a good story on the mummies. And her friend, Man Johnson, I don't remember his stupid ass name. Who cares? It's fucking Spider-Woman NPC. He's like, only there's no way we can figure out where they're headed. And some shit kid in the office with a big zero on his chest, because that's all it'll ever amount to, says, sure there is. All we have to do is multiply their previous locations times the angle of their estimated courses. And then he types a bunch of random ass numbers into the calculator, and is just fucking zapping around, and he says, and there you have it.
The pyramids of Egypt.
And the guy's like, how did you even really figure that out? And this little dumbass twerp says, where else would a mummy go?
Where else would a mummy go?
Also,
it's so fucking bizarre.
You know what? Remember how they defeat the mummy?
No.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
I just want to say, before we go there, that he is using a normal ass calculator, not even like a graphic
Not
calculator.
even a scientific calculator.
Not even a scientific calculator.
He's using a normal calculator, and you see the number that pops up when he hits equals. It is 60,517. What the fuck does that have to do with Egypt or the pyramids?
You see,
good question.
If you
next
take
question
the variable and divide it by the trajectory, then you get mummies.
Because here's the thing, even if you were assuming some kind of longitude or latitude, neither one ends up in Egypt.
And stuff like that.
I've looked.
But
He looked it up because it was just driving him insane. I've never seen Camper more visibly upset than in that moment, 1 a.m. for me, watching the fucking Spider-Woman cartoon.
I watch a lot of bad shit. I watch a lot of terrible movies and shows and I enjoy them. I have watched one episode of that show and I've never watched another one because that pissed me off so much.
It was so bad.
Every time I propose that we get through more of it, Camper will more likely
immediately just hang up.
Yeah, I leave the call.
I can't wait to turn it on at Midwest Meetup and Camper cancels
the Midwest Meetup in Portland, Oregon.
Just keep in mind, I'm paying for the Airbnb. I can cancel it.
The Airbnb in Portland, Oregon.
I turn on Spider-Woman and Camper's like, okay, yep, shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
Disney Plus. He cancels the fucking Airbnb.
Yeah.
He shuts down the simulation that we're all in.
My bus ticket.
Cancel Disney Plus? Are you insane? I'll just change the password.
Oh.
I still want that shit. I'm watching.
He's got you there.
Yeah, I need to catch up on fucking Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's been.
I've only
interesting.
seen the one episode, and it was Cash.
Or of Moon Knight.
It was Cash.
Moon Knight.
Cash, it was you.
Wait,
Cash
it was
is another
Cash Money.
personality.
I
But yeah.
is Cash.
Um,
Is Cash even here?
I don't
but wait, we didn't get to the end of Spider-Woman though.
I am here. Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, we need to keep. We still need to
The
talk
mummies
about.
start creating these. They start flying off in the pyramids
Because
and
why
going
not?
around the earth and
Because
like
why
turning
not?
more people. Yeah,
Because why not?
Why not? That's cool. That's what comic books are, baby. And Spider-Man is still captured, and so Spider-Woman frees him and whatnot. Now it's Spider-Woman, not as Jessica Drew. And they're like, okay, we got to stop the mummies, but they're so powerful, they're unstoppable. And Spider-Man shoots webs around the main dude's pyramid, and turns it into a square.
No.
A cube, I'm sorry.
No, it's worse than that. He doesn't turn the pyramid into anything. He just surrounds it in a cube of web, and that is enough. Like,
Not even cocoon it. Like, he creates like square surfaces and attaches them into a cube.
Yeah.
it's still flying. It's still like the web isn't even touching the pyramid. It's just floating around it as if that's how the webs work. And then he's like, "No, my pyramid power has been turned into a cube."
Yeah, oh no, they've changed my pyramid into a cube. And then it like struggles to fly away. And he's like, "Khufu to pyramid fleet. They've discovered our weakness." They discovered our weakness. Abort the mission. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
You gotta get the fuck
And they
out of
just
here.
fly, the pyramids just fly into the sky and into space, and they never come back.
Whoa, we don't know that. We've only seen one episode.
Yeah, we only see one episode, Camper. So,
We've only seen the one episode.
They might come back. We don't know.
But the funniest
no.
part about it is, as soon as they get out of the Earth's atmosphere, like the main guy gets into space and he just hits a button, and the webs around his pyramid just vaporize.
Yeah, he could have just turned around.
He could have turned around. He could have done that while he was still on Earth. Like,
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be very. That'd be too embarrassing.
It had a mummification beam on it, where it shot at random civilians and turned them into mummies.
You know, as you do.
They didn't do anything; they just turned into mummies.
It does kind of raise the question: is like, does it mean for some period of time those people were just embalmed corpses rather than people?
Nah,
Yeah,
they were just like wrapped up in like toilet paper. It's fine.
It's just a TPing gun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what they did with like, he was progressively turning into a mummy, quote unquote, and he was just getting more bandages around him, and that was it.
Yeah. The mummies want to take over Earth by wrapping everyone up in toilet paper.
Yeah,
You know, as you do.
As you do.
it's really stupid, but it's not as bad as Avenger.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Anyway, this is why I will never play the Mummy game from the World of Darkness series.
Yeah.
Spider-Woman ruined the mummies for you.
Because I will never allow myself to be captured in a cube ever again.
Ever? What do you mean ever again? What do you mean again?
Don't let them box you in, Camper.
Yeah, I'm an outside the box kind of person, which means I can never play a mummy.
God.
Amazing.
Earlier today, me and Ava were watching more of Avengers United They Stand, which is a one-season cartoon from the 1990s.
One season too many.
One season too many, honestly. And it is about the Avengers, led by Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And also on it are Wasp, Tigra, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Hawkeye, Falcon, and did I say Wonder Man? Wonder Man.
Yeah, Wonder Man's also.
It's a big claim that Hawkeye is on the team, because I'm pretty sure it's just Wolverine shooting arrows.
Yeah, he talks like Wolverine. Is the thing.
Voice.
Very Wolverine voice. Also a very Wolverine personality too. It's me, Hawkeye. I shoot arrows, bub. He doesn't say bub, but he might as well have.
Be surprised
I'm
if he
the
did.
best I am at what I do.
Like Scarlet
shooting
Witch sounds
arrows.
like Italian Dracula. Like it's a fucking
It's a
nightmare.
me, Scarlet Witch, eh?
Oh, it's a Scar. Oh, Simon, it is me, the Scarlet Witch.
Simon, it's me, it's Wanda.
It's Wanda. Bleh.
They also have a magical girl transforming sequence for all their super suits.
Yep.
They have a super suit.
Hawkeye has a
Hawkeye's
belt.
transformation sequence. It's all his armor and shit. His bow transforms, and then his belt gets another bigger metal belt around it.
Which is exactly the same design.
It's exactly the same.
So
It's just
stupid.
chunkier.
Yeah. Also, Tigra. One, that's not any fucking Greer I know, but whatever. And then
Not
two,
my Tigra.
she, like, whenever she moves anywhere, she makes, like, this fucking growling noise.
There's a tiger sound effect that plays.
Yeah. She'll,
We
like, go
watched
like,
more than
hey,
today.
hey there, Ant-Man. Nice meeting you up here. How are you doing? It's like,
then
did
she
you need
backs
to,
up
like,
out of a seat for
growl
no
as you,
reason.
like, jumped over? Yes. Yes, I did.
Like, so we watched more of it today.
Unfortunately.
And by that I mean we watched halfway through the second episode of the only season of it. And by God, it's bad.
It's
So
so
basically,
bad.
Ultron makes the Vision and sends him to kill Ant-Man or whatever. And he shows up and ends up like shooting Simon, Wonder Man, to the point of incapacitating him and like threaten and putting his life on the line. And then they take out the Vision and they're like, "We'll put Simon's mind inside of the Vision so we can save Simon."
Yeah.
And
Like,
everyone's like, and this is Ant-Man saying like, "Yeah, we're gonna put Wonder Man inside the Vision's body, and it'll all work out." And Wanda's like, "Hey, what the fuck, Scott? Don't do that." And he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Wanda."
should
You stupid
yeah,
woman.
like
like,
Vision
okay.
literally like Wanda is literally like, I don't know about this, Hank. This seems like a not a good idea. And then Hank's
And he
like,
literally
they're like,
offered her.
"You idiot! This is the only way for him to live. You
That's
dumbass."
the only way you want to fucking die, Wanda.
And then Wanda's
Stupid
like,
bitch.
"You're right. Actually, you should do
Yeah,
this."
you're good. Cool, Scott. And then like Hawkeye shows up and like he's like, "Okay, this seems like really bad, Scott." He's like, "Don't worry, just trust me."
Why are you
Just
calling him
trust me."
Scott? His Hank.
Or Hank, sorry. I'm thinking of Scott Lang. Scott Lang would never do something this disastrous as
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
mostly because he
but
wouldn't
yeah,
know how
yeah.
to.
Yeah, Hank Pym is like, he gets the body in there and they turn him on and whatnot. And Hawkeye's like friends with Wonder Man and they're like, "Oh my god, he's blah, blah, blah." And then he starts just blasting people.
Yeah, Vision just starts blasting people.
Yeah, he starts blasting people as he was doing before and was trying to murder all of them. And Hawkeye was like, "Yo, Hank, what the fuck?" And Hank's like, "Well, I didn't say it would be Simon. I said I put the mind in the body."
It's like, I just said it would be the engram. It's like a blueprint. I never said it would
like,
actually
fuck you,
be
Hank.
Simon. It's like,
You're
shut the
big.
fuck up, Hank. That's not what you said.
Yeah. And then we stopped watching. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was just a nightmare.
You know,
Also, Falcon's there, and Falcon's like, I wanted to be a hero because I was inspired by the original Avengers who never show up in this show because
I mean, we know that's not true, right? Like, we know that Captain America shows up at some point.
Well, Captain America's not, or is he? I don't fucking know. Well, that's
No, so they do show up. The other Avengers show up, and it causes like a whole thing where it's like, Hank Pym's like, "I want to be the leader of the team," and it's like, and they're taking my spotlight. Also, I just want you to know, I'm looking at the episodes right now. Captain America does appear in like episode 6, it looks like, but more important. Oh my God, there's even more. Okay, more importantly, Namor the Submariner appears in episode 7. Even better, in episode 3, you'll never believe who appears. It's Kang the Conqueror.
okay.
So they do like, oh yeah, here's Ultron, here's Kang the Conqueror. Episode 4, Swordsman.
So that's a bit of a step down.
It's like, I am an ultimate robotic synthetic mind, synthezoid mind that has imprisoned worlds with my robotic inventions and shit. And I'm invented to destroy the Avengers. I am a controller of the multiverse and blah blah.
Like I conquer entire periods of history.
And shit. I have swords, and I'm from the circus.
I'm swordsman. Hey there, Hawkeye. I trained you to be evil or whatever.
I am the lecherous Larper, also known as the Swordsman.
I'm gonna stab you and your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good show, is what I'm saying.
It's not great. Not good.
No one should watch it.
This is all well and good, but you know the better cat person than Tigra?
Who?
Shalimar Fox.
Who?
Shalimar Fox. Are you forgetting who Shalimar Fox is, Ava? Hold on, let me get the gift ready. Hold on.
Oh no!
All I need to know is that Ava feels pain when she sees him. That's all I need.
Fucking
Shalimar Fox is a character from when did that series come out?
Like 2000, like 2000 on the dot. I'm pretty sure.
It's very 2000.
The earliest of the 2000s. It called Mutant X, which is loosely based on. Who fucking knows?
It's loosely based on nothing, Mad.
Yeah,
it's based on New Mutants or something like that.
No,
it's not.
No, it is not.
Jack shit and fuck all.
No,
it explicitly references the New Mutants, though.
How?
We started
when?
Mutant X a month ago.
That's what the group is called, the New Mutants.
I fucking
hope.
hope.
They're actually called?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
I wish they weren't.
So one of the things about it was, so we started watching this a month ago, and we randomly clicked an episode, and it was the best option to randomly click on.
Yeah.
So Shalimar's mutant ability is that she is like
a
like
cat.
Like jungle cat like reflexes and shit.
She has feline physiology. She is known as a feral feline type.
Sure, whatever. But her ex-boyfriend...
She can jump, is basically the thing.
She can jump and scratch people and fight real good or whatever.
Hold on, man. You can't say ex-boyfriend in the context of this show. Because you won't know who we're talking about here, because it's Mutant X. Are we talking about the boyfriend in the Mutant X program, or like...
No, so her prior boyfriend that she broke up with because he was very abusive and whatnot.
A criminal and all that shit.
It is also kind of insinuated that there was some kind of abuse there.
Yeah.
Like
not even insinuate. She says it outright. She's like, "Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit, and he's like wronged me multiple times."
Yeah.
And then
by the way, he has the worst fucking power.
We're getting to that. We're getting to that.
So the plot of the episode is that the big bad, who is
I think he wants to steal. Well, the big bad, a Fabergé egg, which has hidden inside of it like a computer chip that would allow him to like mind control people or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
and so they're trying to auction off and get it from like this group of people.
Yeah, he's trying to basically buy it from an auction, and obviously our heroes aren't gonna like fucking try to outbid him or anything. They're just gonna like steal it before he can get it.
Yeah, so they need help to get into this safe where it's being held by this other faction, this third-party faction.
Yeah.
And so they enlist the help of this other mutant because the big bad was trying to use him to break into the same vault to just steal it too, so he didn't have to buy it. But Mutant X saves him, and it's Shalimar's ex-boyfriend or husband or something like that.
Yeah.
And his power...
Yep, his amazing power. He can touch something and project a holographic image of what's inside of it.
He displays this. So keep in mind that, like, despite the era, like early 2000s, obviously the CGI isn't great, but still everyone in universe kind of takes everything seriously.
Yeah.
Even though they definitely shouldn't sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But even this guy, he projects the inside of a fridge and is like, I think there's 6 water bottles in here, and then he opens it, there's 6 water bottles, and one of the characters in the show is like, wow, that's great power, dude.
Yeah, there's like shit on him in the show, and it's like, wow.
I mean, but honestly, yeah, you needed this bitch. No, you did not.
You could
No,
have done
you
this.
fucking did.
Well,
And honestly, the actual thing is, they could have, because his only contribution, he does.
Like, there's a trap.
Yeah, he touches it and is like, okay, here's what the lock looks like, and oh, it looks like there's a trap here. And instead of, doing anything, fucking, they get someone who has, like, electric powers or something, they zap it, and then the thing just opens. And it's like, you just need him!
That's the thing, I don't think he even displays what the lock looks like. I'm pretty sure he's just like, oh yeah, there's like a trap or a lock mechanism.
No, he does display, like, the inner workings of the lock, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he makes it.
He, like, shows, like, not, like, the specific trap or anything, but he shows, like, what the bolts of it look like, or something like that. I don't fucking know. It's still stupid.
Is that Shalimar Fox starts hooking up with her ex again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she falls back into his wiles and shit.
Yeah.
And they start hooking up again and all that shit. And they have to, like, fight people together or whatever. And then she, like, leaves them to be arrested. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's a stupid episode, but it's wonderful and I love it.
Oh no, you're forgetting the best part about that entire interaction too. Where right at the end of the episode, where she's talking to her gal pal in the Mutant X program, and they're just talking girl talk. It's very much the Bechdel test has failed constantly in this show.
Yeah, and also whenever there's like a scene that's just like 2 characters talking to each other, they're like always fucking like stage whispering.
Yeah, they're always whispering. No one talks loud.
Because they're husky voices, dude.
Well,
everyone wants husky voices.
But it's not even that they don't talk loud, because, like, you can hear them, but it's like a stage whisper. Like, everyone's talking like this, Hey, I was thinking about doing X, Y, or Z or whatever.
Yeah, husky is sexy.
Yeah, it's that early 2000s, like, sexy ASMR voice for actors that they have.
Yeah. But, like, they only do it when it's, like, 2 characters one-on-one. It's so stupid. Anyways, continue, Camper.
Yeah, I was going to mention her gal pal has psychic powers, and so they're talking about this hookup thing. Is like, oh, I don't even know why I went back. It's like, and at some point, it's insinuated by the psychic chick. Well, yeah, it's kind of like side commented by the psychic chick that she's like, oh, I might have a good idea. And then they look at each other, and she's like, oh, wow, you're, like, looking into my head and viewing us having sex. Haha, that's so funny.
Yeah, they're like,
it's like,
funny, ha ha ha.
Like, wow, that is a huge invasion of privacy, but I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No asking, no consent.
Yeah. And they're like, ah ha ha, yeah, I went to him because he gave me that good dick.
Yeah, that's literally it. She's like, are you sad that he's arrested? She's like, nah, he deserved it. Also, I got to pop this pussy one last time this week. So I'm good, girl. And that's the end of the episode, and it's cool.
Pretty much.
She's like, okay.
Yeah.
We all laugh.
Yeah. There's also this thing of where, like, the bitch, before they get it, he does, like, a fumbly thing or whatever with the egg. And it's like, oh, yeah. Like, it's like, oh, I accidentally almost dropped the egg, but look, I managed to catch it.
So we could swipe out. Like,
yeah, the chip, but like the chip, which is revealed, or at least the chip, and then like he fumbles it, catches it, gives it. They open it up in like this hidden secret compartment, and inside there's the chip. But then they're like, this is the fake chip. This is like a fake that you swapped in while you were doing the fumble thing. Give us the real one. He's like, you got me. Okay, here you go. But the thing is, this was in a hidden compartment or whatever.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he open it, put it in, and then close it back without anyone seeing while fucking dropping it?
Because he could touch things and see inside of them and project others. He saw where the chip was, and he was able to perfectly get in there and get out without anyone noticing.
But the camera was on it the entire time, and there was no fucking... It was so stupid.
It's not even a situation where it's like, it's like a secret panel. It's like the whole thing has to open up.
Yeah, it's like
a very clear and obvious way.
It's like this elaborate puzzle box thing.
It's the fucking Hellraiser cube.
Basically, if the Hellraiser cube was a fucking Fabergé egg, then yes, that's what it was.
And I know someone's going to be thinking like, oh, that's still kind of a cool trick, like a magician kind of fumbling something. Oh, but it's okay. No, he like launches it into the air.
Basically, yeah.
Like this is not an accidental. Like it's so obvious.
So later, like the egg has to like actually open up. You got to push a button, and it slowly like pushes out like this little holster that holds the chip. Like it's a whole slow like cinematic process for this egg to give you the thing that you want to steal out of it.
Yeah.
And he just does it in like 2 seconds of fumbling it around like an idiot.
Yeah.
And
the camera's on it the entire time, and it never shows anything happening. And like,
yeah, and everyone's looking at. Also, there is one point where they destroy the chip, and then the camera angle that it shows is like they're all looking at where the chip was destroyed, but they're all looking down into the camera, like in a really weird surrounding the camera like shot, and it feels really claustrophobic because you're kind of at like mid-waist level.
Yeah.
And they're just looking
like
down
on
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they're about to spit on you or something.
Yeah, you're about to get like gang beaten up. They're gonna jump you into the New Mutants.
But yeah, so basically it's
basically Mutant X is a great show from the early 2000s, and everyone should go watch it. It's 3 seasons, or is it 4 seasons? How many seasons is it?
It's more than it deserves, but just as many as I want.
It's not a good show. Can you enjoy it? Possibly.
In the same way, like, I hate Dead by Daylight, but I do have fun playing it.
We haven't even gotten into the details of the main villain. Is fantastic, by the way.
He is acting in a role that does not exist in this universe yet.
This show did not deserve.
He like his fucking.
And he never acted again.
So
did he?
one thing that I want to note, because it stood out to me immediately, was that like he has like some like hired on bitch who I will say looks like he should have been the main villain, but whatever. Some hired on bitch comes in and like they like rest one of their hands on like his desk or whatever, and he's like, "Don't put your hands on my desk," and he takes them off. But no, this man's desk is empty. There is nothing on it.
Nothing. Not a damn.
He doesn't need. He barely needs this desk.
He does have a computer in the room, but it's like behind him on the filing cabinet.
It's not even on the desk. It's next to the desk.
This guy dresses in the weirdest fucking outfit.
Oh yes, no, his
outfit. Let's start at the head and go to toe. So,
well, head, he has like pure white hair that is very obviously a wig, but it's like the worst fucking like bowl cut you have ever seen.
So great.
He does not look like you. He does not look like you should consider him a serious threat at all.
He looks like a villain of the week, but he has apparently ascended to main villain status, and his wardrobe shows it.
Yeah.
And then he's got these thick ass like black framed glasses.
Like a librarian went to Superman school.
Like and oh my god, the gloves. So he has these gloves that cut off right below the knuckle on the top, but on the bottom they come all the way down to the wrist.
Yeah.
It's a wondrous costume design.
It should be noted, he does change his outfit, but like in this episode specifically with the Vault thing, he's got on like a turtleneck, a jacket, and an ascot that are all pitch black. So it's actually very hard to tell that they're 3 distinct different pieces of clothing.
Oh yeah.
It's like we didn't even know there was an ascot until we watched it the second time through. It's just I don't know who designed this costume, but whoever they are is a clown. Also, he's wearing this stuff in the office. In other episodes, when he actually goes out and deals with people, he also puts on this like weird, not quite lycra. It's like a plastic lab coat.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean plastic like a see-through like poncho. I mean like the kind of plastic you would put on like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Like one of those kind of lab coats.
It's fucking ridiculous.
it's also got a really high collar. It's oh my god.
I this show it's so fucking bad and I love it.
It's real
Also,
bad.
every time there is like a scene transition, like they do a weird wipe, but with like a green line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They change the wipe direction. Sometimes it's a 2 wipe, like 2 from the center going out. Sometimes it's a horizontal. Sometimes it's a vertical.
Yeah.
And
I want to keep watching until the point where it gets like a Windows like visualizer, where it's like a bunch of sporadic lines until it's a new scene.
well, I'm half expecting like a clock wipe, like Star Wars. Like it's but they also there's some CGI in this show.
Yeah.
It is all bad.
Yeah, no, they don't know what good. They haven't invented good CGI yet.
It is 2000, and they just discovered what CGI was.
Like during this Vault episode, one of the guys can change his density, kind of like vision, and he's sitting in a chair in the plane over the building. He's like, "I'll be right back," and so he lowers his density, so he just falls through the ship. Then they have an outside shot of him in a sitting position, just slowly dropping out of the sky.
It looks like you're in Microsoft Paint dragging a thing down the fucking page.
And like the environment, they didn't even get like an outside environment and CGI something in. They CGI'd the entire environment, so it looks like an early 90s video game. And it's just a weird outside alley that doesn't look like anything anyone has ever seen before in like a modern society. And it's just, he fades into the building like this, and then like he kind of looks like he's really constipated as he's floating down from the ceiling, and he's got his arms clenched like, ooh!
That's why before any superhero, you always go to that free leaf base.
Yeah.
Always go to the free leaf base.
If you, my shorthand for describing the quality of this show is, it's like Power Rangers if Power Rangers took itself seriously.
Yeah.
And that's not a compliment, because Power Rangers does not take itself seriously, and it's great.
There's also, every time they come back to base, there's like a CGI scene of the plane coming in, like flying through the mountainside, and like landing. The entire animation plays it's like playing an old video game.
It's like a Magical Girl transformation.
You can't skip the cutscenes, and the thing is, it's just them landing. It's not that it's never important, but it always happens.
Nothing.
And you might say like, oh well, they just want a smooth transition, but they also have these other inter-scene transitions where there's like they're jumping, the camera's jumping all over the place. And there's like weird colors going on.
It's like an establishing shot of a location, but it like quickly flashes between a bunch of different angles of the same location, and like each shot has like a different color filter.
It's this establishing shot where I actually lose more context about where we are.
Yeah. Look, it was the early 2000s. They got a bunch of new toys to play around with, and they wanted to play around with them. And let me tell you, they probably shouldn't. They should not have. They should not have.
They were paying someone by the edited frame in this thing, and they got their money's worth.
I want to be that person. I want to go back in time and be that bitch.
The one that they pay to edit, so you just like throw everything at it.
I just slap shit together, cuts everywhere. Who cares? It's out there now. People think it's cool. The year's 2000, baby. People are gonna love it.
You just have a checkbox on like a post-it note in front of your computer that's like, have I hit every single editing option in this episode yet? No? Okay, well, this final scene's getting it all.
Back to the old grind.
Oh my god, and there's an episode where this dude's running from the soldiers, and like, it's cuts every second of him, like he's running.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there's a scene where he's like throwing a kick. It cuts mid, like his like launch, and then like it cuts again as he hits someone, and then it cuts as he lands again.
Yeah, it's It's ridiculous. And the thing is, like, because it cuts all over him, you can see, like, everything. And so it's very explicitly clear he's just running back and forth on the same hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just turning the camera around so it looks like a different location.
Literally, there's us in the same scene, like the villain and like leader of the team like have a conversation in the hallway, and then it cuts to another scene where the other characters are having a conversation in the same hallway, and you can see like it's just slightly further down the hallway.
Yeah, it's like if you like turn your head 2 feet, you'd probably see like the villains right over there.
Like recording the other scene.
Yeah, like the main villain and the main guy are standing next to this door, and you can see that exact same door frame, just like further up.
Yeah, like 10 feet down.
Yeah, they're like standing next to each other, like, where do you think they've gone? I don't know. We should trick around. They'll never find us here.
You'll never stop us. Oh yeah, watch. And it's like, hey, can you guys like stop over? We're trying to have a monologue over here.
Yeah, we're trying to.
They had the budget for one set that had like a balcony overlooking another room, and they wanted to get like at least 3 scenes with this thing.
All its fucking work.
They had
they just recorded it at 3 different locations.
They had like 3 different fight scenes in the same place.
So bad.
So Mason Eckhart.
Yeah.
My hot take that no one asked for: Mason Eckhart is queer culture. I claim
Yeah,
it.
I can see it.
Like it's the stance in like every headshot. It's the white ass wig. Like it's queer culture. There's just something about it that screams I'm gay about this, and I'm loving it.
Remember, like, and then there's also like, and I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking about fun, like, just, like, the 2000s-ness of certain parts, about how, like, there's, like, the older, like, mentor guy of, the good guys, and, like, I say older, he's, like, 40s, 50s-ish. Like, he's, like, he's, like, older, but he's not, like, old. But, like, for some reason, he's meant to be portrayed as, like, this guy that, like, all the girls want to, like, fuck him so bad or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's at least one weird scene I've seen with him and his, like, the psychic one.
Yeah, it's like day that he like, and we launched another like where like they save her and she's like expresses gratitude. He's like, then episode is like, hey, let's fuck. It's just like.
There is also a scene toward I think it's the end of one of the season finales. Where I don't know exactly what's happening. Like some other group has gotten involved, or something is exploding. I don't remember. But the scientist dude meets up with our boy Eckert, and they agree to like walk their separate ways. And there's just so much tension between the two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna kiss.
But I think it's mostly on Eckhart's side. Like,
yeah, it's less tension, more unrequited love and pain.
Yeah,
that's definitely the feeling I got from it. Which makes sense, given just one is dressed like a normal professor dude, and one is dressed like Mason Eckhart.
Yeah. I can't wait for us to watch this legitimately, and then for us to just decide, like, yeah, Mason Eckhart's the good guy.
Yeah, that's what always happens. It's like we're watching something. It's like, wow, this villain probably right actually.
I mean, you got also during the Vault episode. I know this isn't really important anymore, but I just immediately remembered that in the background there's a bunch of like tubes, and there's a scientist just walking back and forth, looking at them and not doing anything.
He doesn't like you say scientist. He looks like a fucking janitor. He's just like a fucking janitor.
There's just a dude in the background. He's
just walking around, like, looking at various shit.
Yeah, and he's probably not meant to be there. I don't know if he has clearance for this. In fact, that might be why he hasn't left, is he can't actually open the door out. But he's just like, oh, I might as well check shit out. Anyway, I don't know. I felt like I had to bring that up. And thus I completely forgot what I was actually going to mention before that.
Yeah.
So, here we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Mutant X is a stupid show.
Yeah.
But in it's enjoyable in some way.
Spider-Woman and Avengers United They Stand are horrible shows that suck and no one should watch. Mutant X is a horrible show and everyone should see it.
Yes.
Mutant X is like that nice little blend of it's like you get like a masochistic joy from watching it because it hurts, but like
you know it's gonna be bad.
Like you know it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be painful to watch, but also it's gonna be like a pain that you can find like joy in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think it's harder for me to enjoy bad animation because that's all still intentional, right? To a degree. I mean, there was that Fantastic Four cartoon where the Mole Man was halfway through a door that had at the end, and at one point, Mr. Fantastic and Johnny Storm just like vanish, and then there are like 3 frames where they're
when I come out of the station and see you guys this summer, I'm going to perform the Johnny Storm song from that episode of Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
Flame on, flame on,
flame on and on and on,
flame on,
flame on.
That show was just horrible. But I was gonna say it's harder for me to enjoy those because, for the most part, everything is intentional. But with live action, it's just like there is so much shit going on that like they clearly didn't either notice or just didn't care about. It's like there's at one point there's a scene with a bunch of mutants just like in a cage, and the best part of that is the background actors who don't even have a line. And just like
there's one there's like 2 people in there.
There were definitely some people who are like
happens in movies is when you have a background extra who is just so stand out in their costume and their hair and makeup that they just eat the scene. Yeah. And so it's like there's the main characters and like are talking to them, and it's like there's these 2 people just standing in front, or like not even, they're like kind of like off to like the center left. And they just like draw the eye because they're just they look so much cooler than everyone else in the show, including the main.
I think it was like we paused the scene and immediately, or like it cut to them, and immediately like several of us just pointed at one of the extras, just like, she looks like a badass. Why is she not a protagonist?
Yeah, why is she like? Is she gonna help? Does she have voice lines? What's her next thing? What's her
Spoilers. Big move? She didn't.
She didn't have.
She did not.
She was a black woman acting in the early 2000s. She's not going to get anything.
And there was one dude who looked genuinely super confused about what he was supposed to be doing.
Wasn't it a thing of like he was looking in like the exact opposite direction of everyone else?
yeah, everyone else was like looking up and to the right, and he was like looking off to the left somewhere. Like, dude, I feel like in this situation, your focus should be pretty easy to point.
No.
The message of the day, everyone, is watch old shows, but not good old shows. Watch like obscure old shows that are on, and don't do it alone. Have some like friends with you, and you'll.
Bad things are always better with others.
Yeah, that's why you don't drink alone.
Yeah. Because if you watch bad shows with others, you're just having a good, funky, crazy time.
Yeah.
If you do it alone,
that's self-harm.
Seek therapy. Get help.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself, people.
Yeah, why would you
watch bad things alone?
Speaking of sharing bad things with others, have everyone else here watched The Room?
Okay. I have.
I've watched parts of it. I don't think I've watched the whole thing.
I have never seen The Room, not because I don't want to see it, just never had a reason to watch it.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing when I was in, I think I was in middle school at the time.
Well, if over half the group hasn't seen it all the way through, I am making sure that we watch it.
No, please.
Yeah,
well, I guess I know what we're doing.
I have seen Birdemic Shock and Terror.
That's also an excellent.
Oh, Ava, we've seen Ice-Tastrophe with Marcus.
I mean, we haven't seen all of it, is the thing. Because
we've seen enough
someone kept skipping around.
We've seen enough, and that is too much. What else did we watch in that group?
I don't remember.
Did we watch something else that was horrible?
This is one of the Fred movies, I think.
Oh god.
We don't need to talk about it.
I can't.
This one's for
Shut
the loser.
the fuck.
Yeah, I couldn't even try to enjoy the Fred ones. It's.
I mean, I tried to watch Alpha and Omega, and I
Yeah,
couldn't
because we
for
found out there
12
were 8 of them, and we were gonna marathon them all. But Madhouse
we
is
just
too much of a
yeah.
fucking pussy.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we were gonna
What do
marathon.
you mean there are 8 of them?
There's
I mean,
8
there
of
are
them.
8 of them.
What do you... What? How? What?
do you-
How?
That's a good question, Marcus. We don't know.
We were going to find out, but Madhouse was too scared. Madhouse wasn't
we ended up
strong
watching
enough.
all the Resident Evils instead, which was probably a worse experience for everybody.
I was there for those. That was the
Yeah,
fun
we
part.
were all there for everyone at some point
Yeah.
jumped in on that.
You
It
were
was
there,
bad.
and you
Yeah,
were there,
And you were there?
The Resident Evil movies are fucking golden.
They're
Yeah.
wonderful. Because there was a moment in, I think it was the third or fourth one, where they're in the prison and there's a guy with a big hammer and like Claire Redfield shoots him down and kills it. And Ava says, once she gets, it wouldn't be funny if he gets back up and Alice kills him. And as she finishes the last 3 words, before they even leave her mouth, it's getting up and Alice runs forward and shoots in the head and kills him.
Yeah. And I wasn't saying that as a funny, I was saying it as like a kind of cynical, sarcastic thing. Because there's the thing, like, if you need to know anything about me, one of the things you should know about me is I love Claire Redfield. I think she's great. I think she's awesome. Never did anything wrong in her entire life. These Resident Evil movies, they're about Alice.
Yeah.
And if you're not Alice,
then you're either dead or useless.
you get, yeah, pretty much. So Alice is the only one allowed to do cool things. She's the only one allowed to actually kill things. So when Claire actually killed something, I was like, holy shit, that's
And it's
nice.
crazy
I can't
in
wait
this
for...
movie-
I was like, wow, that's cool. That's fucking awesome that Claire actually got to do something for once in her fucking life. And this...
Nope.
And then I made like the offhand joke of like, can't wait for that to be immediately undone. And as I finished saying that, it's immediately undone.
And it's crazy because in this movie you have a lot of big name characters in this franchise. You have Jill Valentine, Chris and Claire Redfield. You have Leon Kennedy. Ada Wong shows up. Barry shows up.
And they were jack
Arlo
shit.
shows up. Like everyone from Resident Evil like shows up in these movies, and it's like,
And they're second stringers.
and they're all none of them are important. None of them.
No.
matter.
Well, except for one.
Which one?
Our
Wesker.
president, Albert
Wesker.
They're nothing compared to the mics.
Wesker's
Yes.
great because Wesker shows up. I think it's like at the end of like 5 or something.
This one now.
Yeah, where they go to the White House and there's the pan reveal of who's in the Oval Office, and it's Wesker. But like the way that he's in there, it looks like he was like CGI'd into it.
It looks like a cardboard cutout placed in a chair.
The best part about it is like he has like they are shown in and he has the chair turned around, and so that he can swivel and do a dramatic reveal. Like he is golden in those movies.
And honestly, it was a very like, in all honesty, like the casting that they had for most of the, like the characters for Resident Evil, really good casting. I'll give it
Sure.
that. They
Yeah,
did, like in likeness, pretty solid casting. I did
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Wentworth Miller was Chris Redfield in that one. It's like he's
Yeah, that was a great casting choice.
Yeah.
yeah, he's a great dude. He's an excellent actor.
Actually,
Wasted in that role. But
Yeah.
great actor.
like it squandered away. But yeah,
Those
so Resident Evil sucks. Mutant X is good. John Brown is a Bruja, and Mason Eckhart is gay culture. I think that's a good first ever Crash Cast podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
for our
still feel
one
like we should be calling
viewer.
ourselves the heretics.
Thanks to
Bears.
our one viewer of, I believe, Madhouse's alt.
No, that's not me.
It's not?
No,
Okay, well, whoever the fuck you are,
I'm
one
sorry that you're
person.
here.
Thanks.
I see a lot of names in the viewer thing.
Well, it only says there's one, so I'm assuming everyone else is bots. If you're not a bot, I'm sorry.
Wow, I can't believe you would call people that.
According to Twitch, there's only one person here watching. So, you know...
Viewers matter.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Thanks for listening to us ramble about...
Doesn't matter, it's gonna get more views on TikTok anyways.
Alright.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
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 Bye.